Davenport 10, Walsh 6. Walsh with the ball at the 10-yard line. Hodge in the shotgun, sends a man in motion. Takes the snap, in the pocket, steps up, he wants to run. He's flushed out, he's looking, he's going to run it down to the 5. He falls forward, he did not get in. Clock's running down, it's over. Wow. Davenport wins. Davenport wins, they held him out of the end zone. And DU holds on by the skin of their teeth. Hodge had to get to the goal line. He got to the 1.5. I don't know who made that final tackle, but he saved the bacon and the victory for the Panthers. And with that, we welcome you to the Davenport Football Coaches Show, coming to you live from Uccello's of Caledonia. I'm Rick Berkey, the head coach. Sparky McEwen is here, and we've got a special show lined up for you tonight. Not only are we going to talk with Coach about last Saturday's game, the upcoming game Saturday, got a special player guest, Elise Mbase, the outstanding linebacker for DU, is going to join us. And we've got a very, very special guest, as we're going to have Davenport women's volleyball coach Brian Netzler joining us. The Netzler squad off to a good start so far, and they had a very good weekend in Walsh, at Walsh in Canton, Ohio, just where we were. In fact, they were at the football game Saturday. We'll talk a little bit about that with Coach Netzler a little later in the program. But we look forward to visiting with Coach Mbase. We heard the final seconds there, Coach. Boy, I tell you, right down to the end, and we were all glad that they didn't have another timeout left, because they had to get to the goal line, and they got all but one. I didn't get who made that final tackle, but I imagine you do know.
Yeah, what an exciting call by you. Wow, I guess you know, in your profession, those are the type of calls that you make history with, you know.
And, you live for those, yeah.
Man, that was awesome. But, you know, we had a couple players in on that play, but Jalen Gordon, a defensive lineman, he was the initial contact guy. And then we had DeMario. He came in and cleaned up, and then all of a sudden, Elise Mbose, he came in also. And just a great team effort. You know, it was one of those opportunities that, you know, just like in baseball, you line up with an opportunity to hit a home run in the bottom of the ninth, and at quarterback, you throw the game-winning pass, and on defense, you make the game-winning stop. So it was well-deserved, you know, by a group that's been working really hard, and you just like to see your hard work pay off.
It wasn't a pretty game by any stretch of the imagination, but, Coach, you know, sometimes you got to win ugly.
Well, I never understood, you know, the saying "win ugly."
Well, yeah, that's right. It's a win. It's a win.
Yeah, it's a win. It's a win. You know, if you've been in this profession long enough, and the way that, you know, us coaches are wired is, you do everything you can to win the game, because there are so many things that can happen within the game, and it can make it a great win. It can make it a poor win. You know, if you look at the Raiders last night, you know, I could call that one an ugly win, you know, thinking that they were going to win it on that first possession. All of a sudden the ball caroms off her face for an interception. So a win is a win. It was one where, you know, our defense played extremely well. And then on the other side of the ball, Rick, before I left here last week, I told you we've got to be able to establish a run. And we rushed the ball, at a high level of 270-plus yards, and you need to do that in order to compete in our conference.
Well, you were a little stronger than that before the game even. You said to me, we have challenged our offensive line. We're told them, you know, that they've got to perform, and they really did.
You know, we talked about it. You know, we set forth that challenge to our offensive line and our defensive line, and both those units stepped up. And I thought they did a great job, you know, and it was exciting for everyone because we worked so hard all week, and I'm just happy for those units. And they know that in order for us to be successful, we go as our offensive line and defensive line goes.
You know, they rushed for 148 yards, but, you know, their quarterback rushed for 95 of them. I got to start the packet. So as the game went on, Bill and I we talked about that. Your line started to take control of the between the tackles.
Well, you know, he rushed for 95 yards. We knew he was a very elusive, athlete, and he was a Division I transfer, and we were well prepared for him, but we also knew he was going to make plays against us. We knew that if we did not wrap him up, he had the ability to hurt us and then ultimately win a game, and it came down to just that. He broke out. Our guys covered him up well in the back end, and we had a spy technique on him. And I thought that AJ and Lavelle and Manny did a great job, and Mello, of game planning this kind of athlete. And so it came down to the last wire. It was unfortunate because we thought the series before all we needed to do was get that first down because those guys had burned their last timeout, and we would have been able to take a knee. So we walked out of that game, and our offense knew that when we got back to the drawing board, they know that in the spring we ended the games that way, and now all of a sudden we didn't end it, and now they see what it looks like to sit on the sideline and watch your defense have to come through.
You received the opening kickoff, so you had to kick off to start the second one into a very fierce win, and that produced what I thought was one of the key plays of the game. Here's the kickoff by Plague, high into the wind. The wind knocks it straight down. That's going to bounce. It's bounced backwards, a free ball. Davenport's got it. It turned into an onside kick. They hit the wind. It came back like a golf shot, hit at the 40-yard line, bounced in the air, and it was grabbed on the fly by Justin Castell. That was a key play because you marched it down and took the lead eventually.
We work on that, twice a week, and Coach Walker does a tremendous job with our specials, and he and AJ, once again, those two work really close together, and when you play at Farmers, you got to understand something. It's always going to be windy there. So, we've done our best, jobs at, understanding how, kicking into a wind and how it affects the flight of the ball. And it just so happened those two talked before the half, and a decision was made. And I tell you what, Brian executed it to a T.
You guys moved it down to the 17-yard line, where it was nice to see Jair Harden create some magic offensively for you. 9 seconds to go. Oops, that's the wrong one. We want Jair here. Let's get it right.
He's been a pleasant surprise for us, on that run. I don't know if you know this yet, but he was honorable mention all GLIAC Player of the Week. So we're so excited for him.
Well, let's enjoy some of that excitement from Jair Harden. So 1st and 10 for DU at the 17-yard line. Trying to break this 3-3 tie. We played less than a minute first half. Give off the right side. Harden, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Davenport! Jair Harden runs it in from 17 yards out, and the Panthers take their first lead of the day. So Harden again showed some explosiveness. You had some explosive plays. We saw a little bit inside on the tackle there, but we saw you guys get outside. Keyshawn got to turn the corner a couple times. Seth got a couple nice plays for you inside and out. So your running game really picked up.
Well, that was the emphasis. You and I talked about it last week, and we have a three-headed monster there, and all those guys, I can't get them guys the ball enough, but they're all the same style of runner. They're very balanced runners. They're tough. They're great blockers, and they're team guys. And that's the thing that's really important to me is that, they cheer each other on. And here it is. Our third string guy ends up making GLIAC Player of the Week, honorable mention. So, right now the right things are being done on our side. And all those guys got to do is continue to put the team first, and we're going to be fine.
All right, well, why don't we get a special guest? We had a couple special guests. Why don't we get to your linebacker, Elise Mbase, who had another big game for you. So we'll take a quick timeout. We will come back and visit with Elise Mbase here as we continue with the Davenport Football Coaches Show, live from Uccello's of Caledonia.
West Michigan homebuyers, if you're considering lenders, please contact Mario Flores at 231-638-0200 at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore. It's a wonderful time to be in the market for a mortgage when you choose Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore. Van Dyke's loan experts know how to help you prepare and help you get approved. Don't wait for the market to be perfect. Start your planning with Mario Flores, branch manager at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore.
Mario Flores, NMLS number 135862. Van Dyke Mortgage Corporation, Corp. NMLS number 3035. 231-638-0200. MarioFlores.VanDykeMortgage.com. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
And we continue with the Davenport Coaches Show, live from Uccello's of Caledonia. We've got another special guest joining us right now, linebacker Elise Mbase.
Yes, sir.
Young man from Georgia, and great to have him here. Ellenwood, Georgia, your hometown. Tell us a little bit about Ellenwood.
Ellenwood is a beautiful place. I went to a school called Cedar Grove High School, and Cedar Grove just means a bunch of trees, and that's pretty much Ellenwood.
How big a town is it?
I'll say it's a real big town. It's near 3 different counties. There's the Cobb counties, there's Clayton County, and near it there's also the Cobb.
Elise had a outstanding high school career. In fact, he came out as one of the top 20 linebackers in the nation. Went to Michigan, won a couple letters at Michigan. Tell us a little bit about your Michigan days and how you ended up at Davenport from Michigan.
Michigan is a great program. I got recruited there, and when I got there, man, the atmosphere, the place was amazing. The coaching staff, the players was amazing. The trainers, everybody over there was just amazing.
And then what was the connection that eventually brought you to Grand Rapids?
We just had a misunderstanding.
Yeah, but what about Davenport? What appealed to you about Davenport?
What appealed to me about Davenport, one is the coaching staff, the relationship that I have with them, just their character, the way that they maneuver, and the way that they operate. I love that about them.
Boy, Saturday at Walsh, it was one of those games that you could just probably had the feeling we did, and that one play was going to determine it somehow, some way, and it actually turned out a few plays you could say determined it. What were your thoughts as you were going through that? Where the back and forth, you had the chance to build up a bigger lead, but you couldn't get it. They hung around and they almost pulled it out at the end.
I would say, in a situation like that, we're always told, by our coaches to always keep a more calm and composure, control our emotions, and just take a play-by-play.
You have a pro grade. I know what that means, but tell the audience what that means once you have a pro grade and how that can affect you your future.
When you have a pro grade, it just means that you're being looked at highly by the next level, and they feel like you're going to be one of the guys that potentially can be able to play in the next level as well.
So do you get any type of interaction with pro football at all during the season, or is that just strictly something that goes on away from your own life?
I'll say that during the season I stay focused on, taking it week by week on our opponents, and I, let the coaches handle that side of the ball.
Well, you certainly hope to continue to play football down the road in the next level. If that didn't work out for you, Elise, what were your thoughts as far as what maybe you'd like to do with your life?
I will consider myself an entrepreneur. I got a clothing line, and I also have a business consulting.
Clothing line?
Yes, sir.
When did that start?
That just started when, growing up and, parents buying clothes, buying different, designers and things like that, realizing that, hey, instead of wasting my money on this, let me build something on my own.
Too bad they didn't have that NIL rule change when you were at Michigan with that clothing line. You could have done something with that, couldn't you?
Yes, sir.
What do you do for fun away from football, away from school? What's your enjoyment level?
Away from football, besides relaxing, taking care of my body, I'll, probably get on the game, play a little bit. Other than that, I'll try to find a way to get, active in the community and help out in any way possible.
What are some of the things you've done within the community?
Things that I've done within the community, I participated in the FCA camp as a Hello leader this summer, and it was an experience of a lifetime.
Well, I know that you won one player's youngster's heart over, my grandson Q, who's watching at home tonight, by the way.
Yes, sir.
And watching to see you as well. What about this team? Where does this team really have to get better? We know that they made some strides from week 1 to week 2, but now you got to make bigger strides, week 2 to 3.
I think that we just got to continue focusing on ourselves, take the coaching, and just listen to what the coaches say.
Who are your best friends on the team?
My best friends on the team, well, I would have to say the D-line.
Yeah, they open up those seams for you, don't they?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, you've had a fantastic job so far. 6 tackles against Truman State, and he had 10, count them, 10 tackles Saturday in the win against Welch. Elise Mbase, thanks for stopping. I know we pulled you away from that great Uccello's food, so go back and enjoy some more of that, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
We'll take a timeout and talk some Davenport volleyball here in the Davenport Coaches Show, live from Uccello's in Caledonia.
Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore's commitment to finding the right home loan for you is second to none. The experienced licensed team at Van Dyke on the Lakeshore will work hard to give you a smooth and timely mortgage process from application to closing. Mario Flores, branch manager, Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore, has access to a full range of mortgage products so that you get the right loan with a great rate, the terms you're looking for, and costs to meet your unique needs. Call Mario Flores at 231-638-0200 today and experience the Van Dyke Mortgage difference.
Mario Flores, NMLS 135862, Van Dyke Mortgage Corporation, Corp NMLS 3035, 231-638-0200, marioflores.vandykemortgage.com. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
We roll on the Davenport Coaches Show live from Uccello's of Caledonia. We're switching gears. We like to get some other coaches in when we can. We're going to talk Davenport women's volleyball. Brian Netzler here, his third season as the head coach of the Panthers program. And it was really a great surprise for us, Coach. We're up there in the press box calling the game, and all of a sudden we see turning around, posing for a picture, your entire volleyball team.
Yeah.
That was cool. You were in Walsh this weekend as well as us, and you had a very good weekend. Tell us about it.
We did. We finished 3-1. We won the tournament. We played our best match versus Walsh, the host team, who is probably the best team there, and sets us up nicely to head to the UP here to play a really tough Tech and Northern squad this weekend.
Yeah, so it was great to have a weekend. I mean, just getting out there and getting that type of experience, but to win it makes it even more special for you, Coach. Who played well for you individually this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, you got to start with Haley Krieger, our senior outside. She was MVP of the tournament. She was named GLIAC South Player of the Week this week.
That's the second time for Haley.
In her career.
Career, yes.
She's been a 3-time first-team all-conference player for us. Our offense kind of goes as Haley goes, and so we kind of adjusted kind of where she was at in the lineup a little bit and kind of getting her some different looks, and she played just phenomenally down the stretch for us.
Tell us about Haley. What makes her a special player?
She was a dual sport athlete when she first came to Davenport. She played softball and volleyball for her first 2 years, and kind of the light bulb started to go off with her. I kind of think, just seeing what she's able to do on that volleyball court, and she's just a physical kid, and just imposes her will on most teams. I think that that physicality is what we're looking for, especially in a really tough GLIAC.
Visiting with Brian Netzler, women's volleyball coach at Davenport. Again, they won the weekend tournament at Walsh this weekend when we were down in Ohio at the same time. Co-team and the one area that you have to get better in.
I think we've got some great senior leadership. We've got a lot of girls that have been on the floor for at least 3 to 4 years, and now I think it's just us owning how good we really can be. And that's a process. I think we worked through it this preseason. We went 5 sets with the number 9 team in the country, Oklahoma Baptist. We lost a heartbreaker at Ferris, 17-15 to them first weekend. And then we, turned around and, we played 17 sets of volleyball this past weekend at Walsh, which is a lot of volleyball. But I think we needed every set of that to kind of start finding our, our identity as a group.
They did give Sunday off, right?
They did.
They earned as well. Yep. Coach, now you're out recruiting same time. Tell us about your recruiting philosophies, where you like to stretch the borders to and what you're going after when you're looking for student athletes.
Yeah, so I'm originally from the area. I'm from Muskegon area. I went to Fruitport High School, and so when we came here 3 years ago, there's a lot of familiarity with the West Michigan area, and there's such phenomenal level of volleyball here. But spending 7 years as a Division I assistant and recruiting coordinators at those other stops really kind of allowed me to build some really strong relationships throughout the Midwest. I think we've got our first ever recruit from Minnesota on the roster, who is a sophomore setter for us, Nicole Odine. Next year, we've got some players from kind of all over the Midwest that have just verbally committed to us. It's such a strong area, the Midwest, for volleyball, that, you don't have to really look too far. You just got to find the right ones that know how to play the game and got a great IQ and, can get up and put some balls away for us.
You were at Miami, Ohio before you came here. It had to be enticing when you had a chance to come back home to head up the program here.
Absolutely. It was a big reason why I had such interest in it. But, I think Davenport's just got so much to offer, and being so young in the Division II process here, I just love what we're able to do here and keep building this program and keep growing it. And, we're getting better every single year.
Well, we're both going to the UP again this weekend. The football team's going up there. We're going to be at Northern Saturday. You're going to be at Michigan Tech Saturday. Come back and play volleyball Sunday at Northern Michigan. And so you've got a full weekend. Best of luck to you, Brian Netzler. Thanks for stopping by. It's great to visit with you, and hope for more and more things from your team this year.
Thank you very much.
Let's take another break, come back and talk about Northern Michigan football against Davenport coming up this Saturday. Stay with us.
West Michigan homebuyers, if you're considering lenders, please contact Mario Flores at 231-638-0200 at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore. It's a wonderful time to be in the market for a mortgage when you choose Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore. Van Dyke's loan experts know how to help you prepare and help you get approved. Don't wait for the market to be perfect. Start your planning with Mario Flores, branch manager at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lake Shore.
Mario Flores, NMLS number 135862. Van Dyke Mortgage Corporation, Corp. NMLS number 3035. 231-638-0200. MarioFlores.VanDykeMortgage.com. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Need Sparky. Need Sparky. And we're back here at the Davenport Coaches Show from Uccello's of Caledonia. And boy, what a great place it is to stop. No matter what your food, beverage choices are, they've got it all here. Fantastic food. And Sparky's here. We pulled him away from some of that great food to talk a little bit about the Northern Michigan Wildcats coming up this Saturday. The opposition on the road. Northern is 1-1 so far. They won on the road, beating McKendree in 27-20. Came back home and lost to Wisconsin Oshkosh 28-10. So they, like you, are 1-1. And when you play Northern Michigan, probably not too many surprises. You know Coach Nystrom, and you know what you're going to get from them one way or another.
Yeah, they're going to be tough. Kyle, he's known throughout the country as a guy that's going to line up, and if you're not ready to play football, they're going to smack you in the mouth, and you're going to take an L. Our guys understand that. The brand of football that they play. They know they're going to run the football, okay, and they're going to test your manhood. And so our guys know, here it is, once again, we've come off two very physical ball games, and now we got to line up against arguably one of the most physical teams that we're going to play on the year.
It's the first of a home and home, if you will, a non-conference game here. Then later in the year, they come back and play us at our place, and it is a conference game. Do you approach it any differently if this were the GLIAC game and the second one was non-conference than you would now at all?
No, that's not the way that, I coach my guys up, and we'll handle non-league opponents and league opponents just the same. You got to line up and you got to prepare to play at your best, and if you play at your best, you give yourself a chance to win. There's just too many factors that come into play, when you're playing in any kind of contest. So to talk about non-league versus conference and all those things, I don't do it. I truly don't, Rick. But one thing I do talk about is being your best, doing your job, doing things the right way every time, and all that other stuff will fall into place. So the only game we're focused on right now is the one this weekend, and let's hope that we get through this one and play well, and our players play at their best, and may the best team win.
Davenport's won 2 out of 3 in the series so far, including the last time up there 2 years ago, 21-7. That game, we remember that one because it was incredibly, unseasonably warm up in the UP that weekend. It was up in the 90s, and they don't get that anytime usually up in Marquette, but it was 90s in late September, and there was sweat falling from the top of the dome where you play in. It's going to be warm, but nothing like that this weekend.
No, boy, that was a heck of a trip then, and you're right. There's no air. The circulation is what it is in the dome. But it's a very unique place, and I have players that have never experienced it, and it's truly a home field advantage. They do a good job up there with their fan base, and they're players. They get energy, from their fan base up there. So I'm excited for our players to experience, going up there to play against the Wildcats, because it's going to be a hostile environment, and they know that it's going to be a fight for 4 quarters.
Speaking of their players, running back Tyshawn King averages over 90 yards a game on the ground in 2 games so far. He's going to be a focus for you defensively.
He's arguably the best running back in our conference. We've got a couple kids that can run the ball well, but man, he does some really exciting things, and I definitely can see this kid getting a shot at the highest level. Extremely strong. He jump cuts, and he's very gifted. Ankles, extremely strong, and he's explosive, and very physical. So, right now they're on all cylinders with what Coach Nystrom likes in the football team, physical on offense and physical on defense, and he's got more talent now. He's got some guys that can run, and, so they fit into his scheme quite well, and our guys know we're going to have to be at our best in order to beat the Wildcats there.
Quarterback Drake Davis has completed just 18 passes through 2 games. Not a lot, but what you, I'm sure, are focused on defensively is that for those 18 completions, 9 different guys have caught balls from Davis from him.
Yeah, their OC does a really good job of distribution. The players, they got some talented players there. He's infused his roster with some talented kids from Division I schools, and they're playing well together, So it makes it really hard to prepare for a team like that when you have so much distribution. The running back actually, you take a look at his carries. Well, they got 2 other guys that can run the ball as well. So man, this is going to be an outstanding game. It's 3 different teams. You had Truman, and then you have Walsh, and now you have Northern Michigan, and all 3 are different. All 3 are different, and I think Northern Michigan takes a little bit, a little bit from each. And so this is one of those games, man, we're going to have to take care of the ball. I know it's going to be a field position game, and the team with the least amount of mistakes, truly, could be victorious in the end.
Well, last week you mentioned you challenged your offensive line. They responded. Any particular group that you're challenging this week?
Well, I challenge our team. I challenge our team to make a trip up north like this, and anyone that, respects this game and understands GLIAC football, it's really hard to go on the road and compete at a high level, and, that long road trip and get your boys to focus and then obviously play in a hostile environment and then ask these boys not to make mistakes. Man, you got to be super disciplined. So, I'm eager to see, how we respond to this trip because it's going to be one of those games once again. And, Rick, since I've been here at DU, our games are always close. Our games are always close, and there's fireworks. So I'm extremely eager to see how we respond to a little adversity. We responded well last week at Walsh. Let's see if that can carry over to this ball game in Marquette.
That's a 1 o'clock kickoff at the Superior Dome in Marquette, also known as the Uper Dome. We'll be on the air on Magic 104.9 and the Davenport Athletics Network with the audio at 12:15. That wraps up things for tonight's Davenport Coaches Show. If you're watching us live, join us again next Tuesday at 7 for our next show. And if you're listening to our rebroadcast on Magic 104.9, Davenport football is next, with the Panthers taking on the Northern Michigan Wildcats. Go Panthers!